So it's Augustin is up here.
World War II Métis veteran Augustin Beaulieu is buried here in Lakeview Cemetery. Fresh snow making his military headstone stand out. This will be the first Indigenous Veterans Day where Beaulieu's grave is marked with a headstone. Before, it was a wooden cross that had rotted away, leaving his final resting place unmarked and unknown for years. It was through research done by Floyd Powder that Beaulieu's grave was found and restored.
A different division of Veterans Affairs is does monument and restoration that. I checked various sources and I couldn't find them. Find a grave identified that Augustin Beaulieu was buried there, but had that article of August Beaulieu being, shot in there. So I'm assuming it was him, but the city couldn't confirm, so I had to do more digging.
Beaulieu, originally from Fort Resolution, Northwest Territories, survived World War II. He served with the Canadian Scottish Regiment. Now his family is content.
And as a family, it's brought us, a lot of us together. And, we can always meet up and be able to go and visit his grave.
Once a week or every couple of weeks, depending on.
Powder, a veteran himself, volunteers his spare time with a federal program called the Last Post Fund.
So when I first was asked to check for a couple of headstones in the cemetery here in Yellowknife, I noticed that there was a number of bases for headstones, but no headstones in them. So to me, that struck me as being wrong.
In 2019, the Last Post Fund started focusing on Indigenous veterans, part of Canada's reconciliation process. To enlist in war, all Indigenous soldiers had to give up their treaty rights.
Indigenous veterans, when they retired from their service after World War I, II, and even Korea, they were denied benefits as their colleagues that they served on the battlefield with.
Métis pilot Robert "Bobby" Douglas served 2 tours during the Second World War.
All this water damage, permafrost.
He's buried in Betchacon, Northwest Territories. His grave has also been marked with a military headstone.
They were the forgotten soldiers of Canada, forgotten veterans. And now those individuals are going to be recognized for their service. So when somebody walks through a cemetery like this, and they'll see that this person provided service for our country.
Douglas died before knowing he'd get recognized for his service to Canada. But just days before he died, he applied for and got his treaty status back.
But his life was that of a Métis. He worked hard with the Métis of the Northwest Territories and did everything as a Métis. But for 1 week, he was First Nation.
For Powder, he knows more research needs to be done, more graves to be restored.
One of the sad things about the overall cemetery is that where Augustin is buried, he was unmarked. There's a whole section in that middle plot there that are unmarked.
Unmarked for now. Juanita Taylor, CBC News, Yellowknife.